everyone, welcome to Morning Laziness. I'm Hilima Kayas, and today we are bringing to you an interview session with Mr. Rito Rhymes, the rapper. Hello Rito, how are you doing today?
Hey, I'm doing. It's morning time, but I'm up, I'm awake, I'm here. Let's get to it. I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Great. So today, Morning Laziness, which is not which you haven't checked out yet, then it's an online magazine dedicated to women. It showcases various articles, personal life stories, and interview sessions on different matters concerning women. And quite recently, Morning Laziness launched a very own NFT collection called Women in Metaverse. So, Mr. Rito, have you checked out our NFT collection and picked your favorite meta character?
I have. I took a look, perused through. Number 73 was the most appealing to me because I could sort of imagine her. I could see her with a confident intent, and I could see her sort of coming to life in the background on the stage and like hosting an event. It seemed like really real to me. So that was interesting. But now I don't mean to be rude, but there's one thing about it that had me confused because one of the traits and properties is mood. But in every image, it was a woman with the same happy attitude. Am I missing something here? Sorry, I hate to be that dude.
Right, I get it. Actually, the theme which we have followed here was to smile through different situations, like women in workplace or women in any other situation or any other problem she's got. She's willing to take it as a challenge and smile through it. So that's the theme we're trying to put up here in this meta area.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Thank you. Well, so it's
I'm
morning,
glad I
so
asked. I wasn't sure, but that's actually really clever.
great. Thank you for that.
Cool.
Right. So, since it's morning, how do you feel today? What is your morning mood?
Well, I'm usually in deep REM throughout most of the AM. If you find me awake and alive, I'm usually sleep deprived because working through the night is when my creative juices thrive. But I'm energized for right now. It's a good morning. I'm up and at 'em, doing pretty good.
Right. And I like your sunglasses, by the way.
Thank you.
Right. So, quite recently, you had taken part in the Dogecoin music festival. So, talking about Dogecoins, nowadays, like Dogecoin has become the most successful meme coin of its time. Well, so do you see a future for Dogecoins in this music industry, and how so?
So, I mean, speaking in terms of a cryptocurrency, one of the initial use cases very early on for Dogecoin was for tipping. We're all over Reddit. People would be tipping each other for memes that they really liked and comments, and they'd be tipping developers. That's still a growing use case. In fact, over Twitter, when I started posting some of my musical content, I started receiving tips from people. People were using the My Doge app, a new social app that enables you to send through tweets. You can send Dogecoin to different people who have an account on Twitter. So I was basically making like a supplementary income on Twitter just from using music, posting stuff. I could sort of see that expanding. I could see that as a trend catching on beyond just a few people doing it as the adoption starts to grow. I also see the potential for the NFT space in Dogecoin. A lot of people don't know that there's actually an NFT space in Dogecoin. People think NFTs, they don't support that functionality. There actually is a special protocol, which is basically a series of rules that they sort of add on to Dogecoin so that you can have NFTs on Dogecoin. And I see a great potential there for expanding how people are able to distribute their music and open up the market, because a lot of people who are amenable to Dogecoin, they don't really want to get into other cryptos. They want to stay within Dogecoin, and it's a big community of millions of people. I think having NFTs in the space could really open up a lot of opportunities within those millions of people. So artists coming in the space can find a home to be supported by a lot of like-minded tribes who like some good, fun, spirited music. And everybody loves an NFT these days, don't they?
Right. Well, talking about music, what are the challenges that you believe are currently faced by the music industry?
Oh, don't get me started on what everybody knows. Music streaming payouts are the lowest of lows. If anyone says the opposite, you'll see the growing of their nose all the way down to their toes. Now, no one's making money off of Spotify anymore. YouTube is also incredibly hard. It's very, very difficult to actually monetize off music, but that's not a new story. You don't need to hear that first from me. Everybody knows that. One of the other things that have been a sort of huge issue for musicians, the hats that you have to juggle. If you want to be a musician and you want to be known, you can't just be a musician. You have to be a content creator. You have to be a marketing expert, have enough money to have a marketing expert. You have to understand visual design and branding. You have to know how to do social media. You have to wear all these hats. Like, being a musician is no longer about being a musician. It's about how can you do all these other things to support yourself to be the musician. And that's very, very difficult, especially for independent artists. But in terms of technology, as Web3 is starting to grow and there's all sorts of new technologies coming out, you got to keep up with these things. The fact that you have to keep up with these new esoteric technologies emerging in the music industry, dealing with NFTs, like, people are like, what the hell is this? Like, what are we doing? What is the purpose of this? A musician is making music. They're not developers, yet they have to stay at the bleeding edge. And often the bleeding edge of technology is not user-friendly. It's often sort of early adoption. And if you don't get in that early adoption, you may miss an opportunity to make a big splash because other people have done it first. So, having to navigate this whole technological array, it's a big challenge for people entering the music industry these days.
I understand your concern, Rito. Well, not talking about NFTs, how do you think NFTs could support musicians and independent artists to raise funds and to boost their earning potential?
Well, people flock to NFTs like flies with honey, but the same joke's been around for 20 years or more, and it still isn't funny. The joke is getting into music and actually making money. Because if music's your career, then that's a big priority. But making a living off of sales puts you in a very small minority. Now, with NFTs in the picture, that minority is growing somewhat bigger. Now, if you're lucky enough to hit your sales goal target, you'll earn a lot more with NFTs from a much more lucrative market. Basically, NFTs opens up a new marketplace. The music hasn't really changed. Music is still the music. It's still a song. It's still an MP3. Even your art is still just art. But it's the case that the fact that it's an NFT, there's a magical thing about it. There's just something magical about it being called an NFT, its properties. People who would not normally spend a dime on your work are just magically interested because it's an NFT. And that in of itself, that whole marketplace of people interested in this tech is opening up opportunities for people's music. So you're not going to get a dime for your music. 10 years ago, the same person who would just whatever, they may throw a brick of cash at you, a brick of crypto at you, so to speak. The other thing would be your content may become more sophisticated. As NFTs are starting to get adopted, people are creating infrastructure to sort of add on to your content. For example, Women in Metaverse, it was a generative art project. That seems to be a big trend right now. Everybody wants to generative art being, there's a bunch of properties that get stitched onto an image, which properties are going to get on there. It's randomly generated. That has nothing to do with NFTs. That's just a way to create art. But because it got popularized in NFTs, now anybody can do generative art. It's becoming mainstream and accessible. I think a lot more interesting technologies that really don't have anything to do with NFTs are going to become a part of the NFT ecosystem. because people are making real interesting art and it's getting NFT'd. And technology is making the art itself more dynamic, more engaging, like generative art, where you didn't even make the art. You made, characteristics and you got something new each time.
Right. Well, now to tell us more about your experience at the Dogecoin Music Festival that took recently. How was it for you? How exciting was it?
It was quite an ethereal experience. I have been following a lot of people on Twitter, and I was actually able to see real people, like see the people that had been tweeting, see the people that had been engaging, and actually get to see some faces. There were some people that I had only spoken through via text message, and I was kind of just having like, whoa, you're a person, you're a human being, you're flesh and blood, you're right in front of me. Like you're not a CryptoPunk avatar. And it was also very cool to be able to I did a Dogecoin rap, and there's Dogecoin people there. I was able to rap about things that people really liked, crypto rap, and this is something that it's been a very rare occurrence. Since the pandemic, everything's been mostly shut down, and there haven't been that many crypto events in general. So this was rare. It was a special time. I enjoyed it, and I think everyone else enjoyed their time too. It was a lot of fun for us.
Great. Even I watched the session in our YouTube channel, and it was really fun. So I had enjoyed it too. Well,
glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Correct. So now, where do you see yourself as an artist in the next 5 years?
As an artist, as an entrepreneur, I would like to be building something in the metaverse. I sort of see the metaverse as, I don't see a metaverse as a VR headset type of thing. I see the metaverse as simply virtual technology, and virtual technology is everywhere. I imagine a metaverse that could exist that helps people build emotional intelligence, something that is very difficult to build in the real world, just going about daily life. I'd like to be working on something that helps support people mentally, sort of like a gym, like a gymnasium for exercising emotional intelligence. I'd like to be working on that project in the next 5 years. And I'd also like to be doing keynotes in rhyme form at all sorts of tech conferences. I'm hoping that's going to be up the alley too,
I like the initiative. It's something really good and something really unique, as in. Great.
Say it again.
Now, sorry?
You said that was really unique?
Well, I said the idea was really unique and something really new to come up nowadays, yeah. So, lastly, what do you think this world needs the most?
Exactly what I just said. I think it needs a gymnasium for exercising emotional intelligence. I wish I had that right now. That would be handy. Yeah.
Great. So on that note, we come to the end of this interview session. Thank you so much, Mr. Rito, for joining us today. We had a great time talking to you and learning more about Dogecoins and your experiences as an artist out here at the Dogecoin Music Festival. So thank you so much once again for joining us, and thank you, audience.
Really appreciate you for having me. Thank you.